It's unusual for our own culture to have women to be street photographers.
Lindeka Qampi is a street photographer living in Khayelitsha, Cape Town.
Mostly I like to shoot poverty. Most of the people said that poverty has already been done. But for me, it's new and it's still existing. It's a picture that tell the story about me. It's a connection with me and the poverty.
When we're talking about street photography in a South African context, in an African context, we're talking about photographers who ply their trade on the street, photographing clients. Street photography is also like broader than just the street. We're talking about photographers who photograph culture, events, weddings, funerals, celebrations, births, deaths, and so on. So really it's about the indigenous camera, and it's about Africans photographing themselves.
Paul Weinberg has been researching and curating a collection of South African street photographers dating back to the early 50s. It's a rare collection because street photographers seldom kept their work or saw it as having any value beyond the immediate client's needs.
Africa and the representation of Africans in general has always been outside people photographing local people. Exciting part about reversing that is looking at a genre that actually photographs itself and recognizes its own sense of importance. This genre, in essence, is about people taking some control over their lives and representing their own values.
I always use poverty in different ways, showing the possibilities of poverty, the good things about poverty, how people are creative through poverty and how they are brave and how do they have hope.
These images are Bobby Bobson, a studio photographer who worked near the taxi rank in Grey Street, Durban. His 40 years collection of images is an invaluable documentation of how ordinary South Africans represented themselves. This is Robert Ngilima's work. He was a worker on the East Rand of Johannesburg who supplemented his income by taking photographs in the 50s. Although they didn't know it at the time, their work has given us a rich resource of social texture from this period.
Lindeka comes from this genre of street photographer that plied their trade in the townships. She brings to the world this indigenous insight. She has a lot of trust with people and, has this remarkable body of work of people who present themselves to her. And in a way, it's a kind of a form of resistance to the marginal world that they find themselves in economically. They're kind of fighting back with style and dress. She really breathes life into these places by acknowledging and recognizing the strength of these individual people.
When I'm taking a picture, I'm looking for a picture that can create a story and also special moments and also picture that is not well known.
Lindeka grew up in the Eastern Cape and only came to Cape Town in the early 80s at the age of 14. Her rural roots have a strong influence on the images that attract her, like animals in an urban environment.
I think for me it reminds me of Eastern Cape, like here in the township, people still miss their culture, that they have to be the owners of the goats. And there is limited space here in the township, but they're still practicing that. All these kids reminds me when I was young. I used to sell things at the age of 9 years. I was selling sweets. My mother forced me to sell things, and I'm grateful about that because that makes me strong to approach people even at this present moment through that young age business that I practice.
One of her dreams was to be a fashion designer, and for a long time she bought and sold clothes. Township fashion is something that continues to fascinate her.
Yeah, I was also shooting fashion here, and then what attracted me is that this police car was staying alone there. There was no police. And then I said to this boy, can you go and shoot there? Because the colors of this van and your clothing are matching each other.
It all began in 2006 when she went along with a friend to a photographic workshop with no particular interest or knowledge of photography, but more just as something to do over the weekend.
Lliso Labantu helps the people that come from the disadvantages to be photographers, to make money through photographs by documenting our daily life on townships so that we can share it with other people, and using the cameras, the focus, to show up our social issues and our news.
Alistair Berg, a successful and internationally acclaimed photographer, started Labantu, which means Eye of the People, along with a number of other professional photographers in 2006.
It's not a school, and it's not a kind of formal club. It's sort of, it will work best as an informal thing.
Every couple of months, they get together in different townships and run weekend workshops for anybody who's interested.
Lindeka met us on the third of our photo weekends, and she had a lot of natural enthusiasm for what she was doing. She'd never taken a picture before. And because she can get on with people and she likes people, she was a natural.
Those pictures, those were my first images that I shot when I joined Lliso Labantu. I saw these two sangomas with these two dogs. I know from our culture there is this belief that dogs are ancestors, they go hand in hand with the sangomas. So that picture is my favorite.
And she took to it very quickly. She's very affable, she's very happy around people, talking to people, and that's one of the main skills of being a photographer. She had a lot of enthusiasm for doing other things like selling her pictures, finding other ways of making money in her own township, doing birthdays and weddings and whatever else she could do. The most important thing about being a photographer is having the chance to actually go out and get good at it. And you only get good at it by practicing. You can't just... people have got natural good eyes and can compose pictures naturally if they've got the right mind for it. But learning how to move in and out of a situation without causing offence to anybody, knowing how to get in and get the shot that you want to get but nobody else wants you to get, being able to blend into the background, all of those things take time and experience and practice. This gives them a purpose, a reason for doing it, and there's somebody over their shoulder looking out. It is a challenge, and that's kind of why I was thinking it was good to come here now, because everybody's ready for a bit more of a challenge. It would be very easy just to go out and shoot more shack stuff and in and out of people's homes and all that. But here you're going to have to work harder.
Yeah, the approach is difficult.
Yeah, but you have to get over that and find... there are definitely pictures here. There's no problem with that. There's definitely pictures here. But finding them and nailing them is a bit more tricky. Good start then.
Thank you.
Are you going to go back out again now?
Yeah.
We went to different areas, to different townships to capture the stories, and after that we do greeting cards for each and every person. It's the way how we make money. I sell these pictures on galleries, on shops, so that we can have a little salary. People from the township, it's not easy for us to shoot pictures. They always tell us about that, we are making money about them. They don't support black photographers to create stories. They've got negative attitudes. He said to me I must come back and explain to him clearly of what is happening. He can't just allow me to take pictures. And I respect that. I can't take pictures of him. It's always happening. I remember there was a guy in Freedom Park who's got an interesting story of a donkey. He said to me I must pay him. Say I end up losing the story.
When Lindeka first started taking pictures, she spent a lot of time hanging out at Cameraland's Members Club in Cape Town, learning the tricks of the trade from the old street photographers. Gerald Sharp, the original owner of Cameraland, spoke fluent Xhosa and had a good rapport with his township clients. He gave them discounts on their printing, and in the old days when images took hours to print and black people had few places to hang out in apartheid Cape Town, he provided them with a space. Nowadays, the photographers print their own images, but the Members Club remains an important networking and social space.
It's like my township because I meet the guys, even the people who are working here at Cameralands, they are friendly to all of us. It's like a home. We've got everything, we've got bread, we've got coffee, and we're relaxed after we print our pictures, chatting with each other, sharing ideas. Imali unikwe deposit, and then xa kufuneka ugqityezelwe kufuneka usokolisekile. Yeah, you understand, and into endayifumanisayo mna ukuthi ndayithanda i-documentary because umshuta uflexible. And then into yobana uChris uleqa imali andithi. Anepati ndandizifota zona ipati imbangoba ndiziyeke ne. Uyafika epatini. Ufika uyabaqaphela babankala utywala kuqala. Ibe kukutya, kube kuninzi. Kuthe wena kuthiwa yima mfoti sawuthetha mfoti. And then xa uzisa ifoto.
Unyanisile
ayikho formal ungandixeleli. Kudala nda.
athetha phaa kubo.
Awukho kola luhlu. Then into yenzekayo. Then uzofota uyaqaphela into yobana kuthiwa sisi unceda ufike ngo-1. Ufike ngo-1 mhlawumbi ingaqali ngo-1 iqale ngo-3.
Wena uhleli imini yonke ke ngomgqibelo ngicela ngomgqibelo elisi noku uyazama elisi uyayenza ifoto mhlawumbe elakasa kwakusebhizi eziyi-100 nto elakasa kwakusebhizi nyani.
Khangixelele normally wena ufota ifoto ezingaphi ngeveki eze umuntu okudala ifoto. Uneminyaka emingaphi ifoto?
Naku ufota ngiqale ngo-1980.
Ongakanani? Most of them, they were photographers during the 80s, but now they lost their works and they don't know the value of their work. They think it's that's for making money. They don't know that it's a story.
Xa ndibala ngoku kusukela ngo-1980 ndifota ithuba elide kakhulu kodwa kuzobakho into ezitshintshayo uqala apha ngosekufika i-digital camera nezo fowuni zinekhamera. Kulapho umsebenzi uye wehla khona kakhulu wephotography ngoba abantu ukuthi uzazifotela ngefowuni yakhe sele i-birthday yomntana isi-21st umuntu uzifotela ngokwakhe athi uzazihlambisela then business uyaqala apho konakala. Ngoku akufani lela xesha lokuqala kwenza imali. Sisokola kakhulu ngoku. Sisokola ngangendlela engumangaliso kuba kulaa xesha lokuqala
Lindeka adapted, and through the contacts made over the years, she now sees herself more as a documentary photographer. Many of those contacts were made when she was marketing the lliso Labantu photographers' greeting cards. But she really connected with one gallery owner, Heidi Erdmann of Gallery ZA.
You know, Lindeka is she's like this person that you've just met. She just comes up your stairs one day and then you meet her, and I like the work, I like the personality, and we struck up this friendship and we started working together. I want us to just go through these prints and quickly have a look at what I have, because we sold some of these, so maybe we should make a decision to print some more works. So put some gloves on and let's quickly go through here, because I just want to go through some of the gaps in my collection. My gallery's focus is to create sustainable career development and to help and assist a young photographer like Lindeka to be able to become financially completely dependent from selling her photographic prints. She started with these small little postcards. From there, we shifted gear into a larger print format, slightly larger, but also a better quality print format. I think that you have generated a really great body of work from shooting within your comfort zone. But, you know, you can, Lindeka, you can for the rest of your life shoot in one particular area, but it will get a little bit boring, and it would be a little bit boring for me, but and it needs to be challenging to you. So it's great to sort of push yourself and to go out into different areas and different light, different circumstances. Yeah. The challenge is that to get a better quality camera so that we can go larger format and larger format. Lindeka is always using different cameras. She's shooting with whichever camera maybe it's a hand-me-down or someone. So I think that she has those challenges, but she's beset by challenges. But this woman continuously produces really interesting photographs despite this problem.
I think of doing a project about a guy. He's disabled, he's a sportsman, but he's on wheelchair. He plays basketball and he's an athletic. He's unemployed. He depends on grant. He was attacked during the time of the apartheid. Both legs are not working.
Sure.
But he's very strong, believe me. I just want to follow him, capturing all the moments about him.
I quite like the idea that you want to tell a whole story.
Oh, that means umuntu wesport masindalo le yakho. Sifuna ukubona ku-Olympics ezizayo. Ubaleka. Sikhwaze sitshelwa ngamazwi. Uzoyo, believe me. Uzoyo. Yazi into xa uyithanda, uyikhuthalele, really, izokwenzeka. Yazi unikhumbule. Iyenzeka. Ngexesha eli-right. Ayifuna nje umuntu ukuthi angarashi.
Hayi ngoku mna ndenza ikhale ndithi
hayi, don't rush. Don't panic. Don't panic.
yami yanishiya. Baba ndithi xa ndizijonga phaa ngithola uba phaa bengiseyandi phaa. Into yes. Ngoku ndiclose ngoku-40.
Ngoka-19 bani?
Aka-68.
What I see, he's a brave man. He's have hope, because he told me that he tried to kill himself 3 times, but through sport, it helped him. I like people like him because they don't give up. I think they are the heroes. I'm using my camera as a way to focus for the needs of the people. A camera can share the story. Firstly, I think the approach is a good thing because it shows respect. You can't come in front of the person and just shoot. You have to approach that person and relax. And then you can have some special moments because you've got that connection with that person. Mostly I form a relationship, they become like my family. That's why I've got that advantage of taking pictures, because I've got the connection with the people. Then shooting fast, I'm a patient person, so everything of mine is patient. I'm so very grateful through cameras because I meet new people who develop me, develop my mind, develop my life, because I feel free because I've got something to do. I don't have stress.
Lindeka is completely comfortable with whom she is. She refuses for her circumstances to affect her daily life and for how she sees life and how she captures life. She has an unbelievably positive outlook on life, and she seeks out to sort of find positive images and hopeful images and joyful images. She also likes color And the way she photographs color is a complete reflection of those other criteria of positivity and joy.
Yeah, I've got difficulties in my personal life, but I don't want to think about. And as long as I still stay with my kids, I've got hope that one day I'll succeed. A camera, it's always healing me through my pictures that I shoot, and the people that I meet. And most of the people love me, and then they encourage me to do the job. That picture, I like that picture very much, because to me, when I was shooting, I was walking around. Then I saw her, and then I ran quickly and I grabbed that picture because it was my lucky day.
Lindeka has, in the past couple of years, had exhibitions across Europe. She's had work in the Museum of Modern Art in San Francisco. Her growth pattern has been unbelievable. It has been remarkable because there are always problems. I would get a phone call from her sometimes and say that both the cameras and a computer was stolen because she was in a taxi going to maybe someone's funeral or just to photograph something in the Eastern Cape. And she would convey this information to me in such a manner that, you know, there's no sort of negative frustration. It is, this is what has happened and I'm dealing with it. Collectively, I think that we have everything geared towards a great career because, I mean, she's working towards a solo exhibition eventually, which will happen. She has an exhibition that she can have whenever she wants to in Rome. She just has to say yes.
Finding the collections of Robert and Galima, Bobby Bobson, Daniel Morolong, and the contemporary work of Lindeka, Qampi, are all going to come together in a very exciting project called The Other Camera, which will be launched at Michigan University early next year. And then it will have a life of its own. It's going to Sweden and will also be shown in South Africa. So all these rare, off the beaten track, uncollected, unseen archives are now all going to play together and be represented in this exhibition.
I like to shoot soccer, including different things like culture, because this is the grassroots soccer. That means a soccer is everyday life. It comes from the long way, soccer. What attracted me from this guy is a Sangoma. His attire is totally different from being the Sangoma. He's a fireman. And also the scarf he's wearing, the sign of the Sangoma is totally different from the other Sangomas. The woman looking at the older girls carrying their reeds as if she feels ashamed. That image I was creating on my mind. It's not that it's happening like that. And also including the women looking at their girls, that means they are proud of their girls. The woman doesn't know that there is someone looking at me. And even me, she didn't sell me. Most of the people that I know is through my camera. And my camera brought me in different places. I was in Germany twice. So a camera did a lot of things. It's many. I'm excited with my future. I want to open the gallery from the township, also an modeling agent, and also give it back to the township the skill of photography. I really have this vision that is going to work for me.